So today it's like our first session in English. So this is gonna be like a very introductory lecture on the technicalities of the subject, and we won't be discussing much about the predictive part of it until later. It's more of a discussion related to the basics of the subject, the basics that would build your foundation for the subject. So let's begin. First of all, what is Jyotish or Vedic astrology? So, this word is a Sanskrit word which literally means science of light. It helps illuminate your path, basically. Now, there are like three classifications of this subject: Siddhanta, Samhita, and Hora. Siddhanta is like the mathematical part of the subject, the calculative part where the planet is and how its position is changing, what's its speed and everything. For example, Surya Siddhanta and Drik Siddhanta are the two major Siddhantas that are followed. There are a lot of Siddhantas to be honest, but these are the major ones I have heard. Next is Samhita or Angam Vinishya. That is the mundane astrology, the weather, rain, the elections, the politics, the socio-economic situation of a place. It's all covered by mundane astrology. The third one is horror or predictive astrology. That's the main focus we are gonna have. So we are gonna further classify horror into three parts: natal, electional, and horary. So natal one is basically the study of the person by his or her birth time, birth date, and birthplace. Electional is the Muhurat astrology. It's used to figure out the best timing for you to consider doing an event. For example, marriages, opening a new business, meeting someone, etc. etc. Horary astrology is like my favorite. I think I have posted two or three videos about it earlier. It's also known as Prashna Jyotish. It's useful for when you are not sure about the birth time and date of the native, or when you wanna just dig deeper into a very specific question. That is when you use Prashna astrology. So it is done using the birthday, like the birth date and time of the question. So when that question comes up in your mind, or when someone asks you that question, you use that detail. Now, Hora is further divided into multiple systems. The one I listed here are the classical ones. There are also a ton of modern systems that are arising. So they are Parashari, Gemini, and Nadi system. Parashari system was designed by Parashar Maharshi. He put all his research and work into the form of shlokas, and BPHS being the most popular classic in the subject due to this very reason, because shlokas are easier to interpret and have a very clear defined meaning. Gemini Maharishi further researched up on Parashar Maharishi's technique and added his own flavor to it, and that became the Gemini branch of astrology, which kind of complements and supplements the Parashari system. It has the information in the form of sutras, which are quite harder to interpret as compared to the shlokas, because each word can have multiple meanings there. Next one is the Nadi system. The one I'm talking about here is the Nadi Patra system, not BNN or CKN or something else. So it uses the thumbprint of the native to figure out a matching palm leaf, and the astrologer asks several questions related to the life and matches up that palm leaf and gives you the reading. Now, why is the okay? So you could understand why birth date and time is needed, right, for the placement of the planets. But why the place? because with change in coordinates, the duration of the day, the time and the time and length of the sunrise and sunset, and also the extent of warmth and light that is coming from the sun and other planets also changes. So coordinates also become an integral part of the system, and hence place is also required. Now, what is a birth chart? So when you are born, all the planets and the constellations and sun and the stars and everything was just assumed to be frozen in place, and a photo of it was taken and printed out, and that's your birth chart basically. So it contains 12 houses, 12 signs, and 9 planets. Now the 12 signs or the zodiac comprise of two and a quarter of a, well, nakshatras. So it's like two nakshatras and the quarter of the third nakshatra. Coming back to the zodiac had to be made unique now. So for that very uniqueness, what the ancient astrologers did was they made three laws for it. The first law, as would arise to the normal mind, would be bifurcating it into two parts. Like most of the things in the world, there's positive and there's negative. There is the North Pole and the South Pole. There are two terminals of a battery, the high potential and the low potential. There is male and female, there is active and passive, and so on and so forth. So the first law became laws of two. So alternating signs are given positive and negative, respectively. Next was the laws of three. So now they decided that there was, well, two things, but they had to perform action in between them. So the mode of action became the law of threes. So there are three modes of action: cardinal, on which everything depends, it's the source; fixed, on which everything acts upon, so it's the drain; and then there is mutable, which kind of just acts as the exchanging of the energy or exchanging of the forces. Now you gotta remember this one because it's gonna be important in the future when we discuss the aspects or the drishti of the rashis. Then there is laws of force. So you have like a few people, and you have a place, and you have, well, the time design. But you can't have the event happening without a subject matter to it. So the four elements, namely fire, water, earth, and air, give that subject matter to the people and time for the event to happen. So this is, well, the list of it. I'll just, put the serial numbers here too. So this is like one, two, three. If you guys have any doubt, you could just ask in the chat box, or like raise your hands if you wanna. So that's like the serial numbers of it, and it's given. So while we are at it, we will also discuss the aspects of these signs or the Rashi Drishti. So the cardinal ones, aspect all the fixed signs except the one that is right next to them. So let's take Cancer for example. So Cancer will not aspect Leo, it will aspect rest of the fixed signs, right? And if you were to take the fixed signs, they aspect all the cardinal signs except the one that is right next to it. So if we take Taurus, it will aspect Cancer, it will aspect Libra, and it will aspect Capricorn. While the mutable signs are like ki, the cardinal and fixed are just doing amongst themselves, mutable signs are like, nah, we're just fine, we will just aspect each other. So the mutable ones, the Gemini, Pisces, Sagittarius, Virgo, they just aspect each other. Yeah, it's kind of getting messy, but it is like that. So I guess the Rashi Drishti concept is clear, right? So you want me to explain it again or is it clear? Okay, we'll go at it once more. What's the purpose of the cardinal sign? To give energy, right? To on which all action depends on basically. And this is the source, and these are the drains, the fixed ones. Now the aspect goes like कि this source will aspect all the other drains except the one that is right next to it. You want me to like make a chart and explain on it? Okay. If you see this is Aries. I'll just write the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So now what is happening is, let's say this one is the cardinal sign. All of these are. This, 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 and this are fixed. And this, this, this are dual signs. It's clear up till here? Okay. So now what happens is the cardinal sign will aspect all the fixed signs except the one that is right next to it. So this one will not aspect this. It will aspect the other green circles or the other fixed signs, basically. Clear? Okay. Now, the fixed signs, let's just pick the one that is right next to the one we selected earlier. So let's say this one. It will not aspect this one, but it will aspect the rest of the cardinal signs. Clear? If we take another example in the same thing, let's say we consider Aquarius, then the one right next to it is Capricorn, so it will not aspect it, but it will aspect the other cardinal signs. Okay? Now, as for the dual signs, they're just happy amongst themselves. They are like, we are not gonna indulge with the rest of you. We will just aspect each other and be happy. This, this, this. It's just like they aspect each other, basically. So each dual signs, just it's a double-headed arrow. Clear? So I guess we will move back on track now. So here we discussed the three laws of the zodiac. Now we make the chart layer by layer. The first layer is the houses. The houses in the North Indian format remain fixed. They don't change. It's like you live in a house, your house doesn't change. The people come in, the people go out. Sometimes guests come in and then they leave. Sometimes you go out for, say, shopping and then you come back. But the house is there. The house isn't going with you, right? Sorry. And each of the house is assigned a direction basically. First house is given east, second house is given northeast, and so is the third house because it lies between the fourth and first. Fourth is given north, seventh is given west, tenth is given south. Gotcha? Clear? Okay. So now we add the second layer to it, the zodiac signs. Let's say it's a Leo rising, right? Then the other signs will just arrange in the anti-clockwise manner accordingly. It just moves like this. And I think I have drawn it on the last slide also. But how is it decided that which sign will fall here? The rest of them are decided according to this, but how is this decided? For it, we will see this. So, the determination of the sign in the first house or the lagna. Basically, this sign is, well, the sign that is rising in the eastern horizon. This house is east, right? At the time of your birth. Now, what planet rises in the east? Well, it's not a planet, but we will use it interchangeably because planet is the closest term that could be translated from graha. Graha basically means to grasp. So it's just a celestial body that grasps your karma and your way of life. So sun rises in the east. So at the time of sunrise, sun will be in the east or the first house. Now let's assume for a while that sun rises from 6 to 8. Okay. Well, it rises at 6 a.m. Also इसके बाद ना खत्म हो जाएगा तो rejoin कर लेना. So it rises at 6 a.m. Let's just go with the assumption. Each house is given, well, each sign is given 30 degrees, though some signs can be longer, some can be shorter. We're just going by the average calculations of the things, and they are just given 30 degrees for making our lives easier. Now, Earth takes about 4 minutes to cover, well, 1 degree. So it will take 30 times 4. to cover 30 degrees. That will be 120 minutes or 2 hours. To cover one sign. Ignore my bad handwriting because so we will just move to like the bigger chart for easy understanding here. You can take the screenshot if you want to. So let's say Sun is in Libra right now. If you go on any software or any website that gives you the calculation of Sun by the sidereal or Narayan positions, Sun is in Libra. Let's take a better color. The Sun is here and will continue to stay here for 2 hours in the morning from 6 to 8. Now we are moving this way, right? So everything else will move in the opposite direction because relative motion. So our sun will go here. Let's move it. So for the next 2 hours, sun will go in this house. That is 8 to 10. Then it goes on so on, and this will become 7 because sun is fixed in that sign. So this will become, well, the sign that is next to 7 or 8, and this will just keep on going. So this will become 10 to 12, 12 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8. Now, these are just approximate calculations with a lot of assumptions, so the actual results may vary based on, well, the exact time of sunrise in your birthplace, and secondly, or well, where you are living, depending on what you are calculating, and secondly, it might be off by like a sign here or a sign here, like plus minus one sign, because they are approximate calculations and not all signs are equal. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer for the sign to travel across the eastern horizon. Then 12 a.m. to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, and back again. So let's just take a random time. Let's say 6 p.m. Then sun will be either here or here. Let's just take 7 p.m. for better calculations and easier thingy. So sun will be here. This will become Libra, and right opposite to it will become Aries. Similarly, let's say sun is in 11th house. Then the time would approximately be 2 to 4. No, wait, that's not the 11th house, my bad. It will approximately be 10 to 12. Sun will be here. This will become 7. This will become 8. This will become 9. So it will become a Sagittarius rising chart. So that's how the rising is calculated basically. You can try it on your own chart if you wanna. So that's like the basics covered. The planets are just arranged accordingly to their positions. So let's say we have to calculate the relative position of Mars from Saturn. So we take Saturn as one and we just move anti-clockwise until we reach Mars. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So Mars is fifth from Saturn. Now the most important one that we consider here is Moon for the relative positions. Because Moon chart, or like everything from the reference of Moon, tells you the emotional and mental plane of things. The idea that pops in your mind before you take the action, your what you think about your life. It's the first person POV of your life. So Moon holds the importance here. And so the Sun, because Sun is known as the natural Atmakaraka or natural significator of your soul. So it goes on and tells you about, well, the thing that the purpose behind your actions, basically. It's what you, it's the thing that comes before the thought comes into your mind. It's the prequel of the thought. It's the bija or the seed for that thought that came into your mind through which you took the action. So after this, we will just discuss the two most popular formats of the charts that are North Indian and South Indian respectively. So, so the one that we have been discussing is North Indian format. The one that is afterwards would be South. So we will just give a brief up about both these types of charts. In the North Indian one, as I discussed, the houses are fixed. This is North, the house is fixed. And the signs just rotate accordingly. As I just discussed earlier, how the rotation is decided. It's in a diamond kind of style, so it just has this diamond thing in the center, right? And South Indian one is squared and it has well fixed signs. This is Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and this one moves clockwise as opposed to the North Indian system. I'm just telling the basics of it because a lot of books have the techniques based on the South Indian system, so that it won't be hard for you to interpret the South Indian charts to understand that technique. I'm just telling you the basics about the South Indian one. We will focus mostly on the North Indian formats when we will be discussing the charts and everything. This is Cancer, this is Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. This moves clockwise. It has well rotating houses, but the signs are fixed, and it is a grid or square style of chart. Now, that being clear, I have created like a format for you to fill up. So, I'm gonna do an example chart for you, and you guys are gonna create this or print it out for your own charts. So let's say it is a Virgo rising chart. 6 is written here. Let's say two random planets are here. Mercury is here with the, let's say, Sun. Mars is here. Moon is here. Jupiter is here. Saturn is here. Rahu is in sixth and Ketu is in 12th. And Venus is, say, in the second house. Okay. So firstly, we will fill out the houses from the moon. This is moon. So moon is obviously first house from itself. The next being second from it. Then third. Wait, this clear color is unclear. Third, second, first. This becomes fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th. Now we will just write where the lord of each house is. This is Mercury, sign Virgo. Virgo's lord is Mercury. Mercury is in the first house. We'll just write first house here. Venus is also in Libra, being in its own sign. Libra's lord is in the second house, being Venus. Scorpio's lord Mars is in the 10th house. Jupiter is in the third house. I'll just write the rulerships also after this. Saturn is in the seventh house. Saturn is in the seventh house. Jupiter is in the third house. Mars is in the 10th house. Venus is in the second house. Mercury is in the first house. Moon is in the ninth house. Sun is in the first house. Yeah, as to the lordships, I'll just write it here. 1 and 8 are Mars. I'm just writing the lordships, okay? Like which sign is ruled by which planet. 2 and 7 are Venus. 3 and 6 are Mercury. 4 is Moon. 4 is Moon. 5 is Sun. So you see the pattern here. 1, 8 is Mars, and then you come inwards. Then 2, 7 is Mercury. Then you come inwards again. Then 3, 6 is Mercury. You come inwards. It's this side is Moon and this side is Sun. On this side of the thing, you will see 12 and 9 as Jupiter, 10 and 11 as Saturn. Clear, or do you have doubts? Okay, so clear. Yeah, so you guys will just arrange your own charts according to that thing I gave you earlier. This one. So you can just create your own chart in this one once. Okay. Now the end note for this topic will be a basic interpretation of what the sign houses and planets actually say. So the 9 planets say what is happening. The 12 houses say where or which part of your life that thing is happening. And the 12 signs tell you how that particular thing takes place. Clear? So that's my time. Jai Mahakaal, everybody. See you next time. Till then, bye and take care.